Weddings are now ending in disasters. Hello, you gorgeous donuts. Today we're going to be having a look at some of the most insane Reddit stories that have been posted on the r/am I the a-hole Reddit thread. These can be stories about the wedding day or the lead up to the wedding. Honestly, some of these are going to blow your mind. Am I the a-hole for not inviting my mom to my wedding because she hates my fiance for being short? A short king discriminator. Not in this house. Okay. We'll promote short kings. Like, not like literally in height, that's impossible. But just metaphorically. Know what I mean? If I could, I would. I, 35 female, am engaged to my wonderful fiance, Mark, 38 male. He's an incredible guy. Smart, funny, and treats me with so much love and respect. The only problem is, he's 5'4". There's always a catch. Oh, men, why can't they be perfect? I do want to mention problem is in like inverted commas, so I don't think she thinks it's a problem. I love his height because that's part of him. But my mom, 60 female, never lets me forget this. From the moment I started dating Mark, she's made it clear that she disapproves of him because of his height. Isn't that kind of body shaming though? You don't often hear that come under that category, but it is. It's something that somebody can't change about their body. And you're him for this. Like, he can't do anything about this. Everything else about him is great, but your mom doesn't want you to marry him because of his height. I've got one word for the ma'am. Have a day off. I want to see how tall you are. This seems like I'm really offended. I am offended for this guy. Poor Mark. At first, I brushed it off, but her comments have only gotten worse over time. She regularly tells me I could do better and that I deserve someone taller and more masculine. I'll have you know, if you're short, you can build, you know, much more dense muscle. It's easier to build dense muscle because there's less of you. Alright, makes your biceps look massive. During one family gathering, she even asked me, how do you feel about being the one who wears the pants in the relationship? Okay, we'll finish the story before I comment. I was furious and embarrassed. We ended up fighting over it and we didn't talk for a week. When Mark proposed, I hoped my mom would be excited and maybe even come round. I invited her over to celebrate, but instead of being happy for me, she spent the entire dinner making fun of Mark. She said things like, just make sure to buy a step stool for your wedding day. It was beyond embarrassing and I could see Mark getting sad and frustrated. She really ruined this wonderful day for him. After that dinner, I knew I had to make a difficult decision. I want my wedding to be filled with love and joy, not my mom's negativity, and I don't want Mark to feel bad about himself on this day. So I decided not to invite her. Bold decision. Now she's livid and claims I'm being unreasonable. She says I'm cutting off family over a few height jokes and that I'll regret not having my family at my wedding. Mark is happy with my choice too. So, was I too harsh on my mom for not inviting her to my wedding? Guys, I'm ill at the minute and honestly, this makes me feel better about my own life, not gonna lie. First off, okay, I'm just gonna, you know, I always see it from everyone's point of view in these videos and I always try and offer everyone's perspective. I'm just gonna say this upright. Your mother is a dick. She's not even like a little one. She's like a, let's say a 5'4" one. You know, she's a dick, you know? Like, elongate the word just for her. So this guy, like, fulfills you in every single way. He literally doesn't put a foot wrong. He makes you happy, which is the main thing that I think that you'd want for your daughter. But the only thing your mom can't get past is that, you know, he's 5'4" and apparently that makes him less masculine. That is not the case at all, by the way. I know I don't need to say that, but, you know, just because someone is smaller doesn't make them less masculine. There's probably people who are 6'7" who most people wouldn't think are masculine. Just because you're taller doesn't mean you're, I don't even know what masculine means. Like, tougher, is it? The fact that your mother keeps coming over and like she just doesn't let it rest, just every single time she just like lays it out on him. It's almost like when she's home, she's charging up. You know, she's getting a few like post-it notes, you know, colour coordinated as well, depending on the day of the week she's going to use them. And she's just writing down these jokes and every single time she uses them, she's like, just tick that one off. Thank you very much. Unlucky Mark. There's 100 more where they came from. It's weird because you've said that, you know, you fell out with your mother and you haven't talked for a week, which obviously that can't be easy for your mother as well. She clearly wants to be in contact with you because, you know, she keeps coming over. So she's actually the one in your kind of immediate family that is making you upset. Like, she is the problem. Nobody else is the problem here. It's your mother. And honestly, if she can't see that you're happy and she can't like put this weird bias to the side that she has, then I don't feel like she deserves to be in your life. Like, yes, she's your mother and that, you know, you want to have a great relationship with your mother because at the end of the day, you only get one. But if they have a detrimental effect on your life, then they don't need to be be in your life. They can't use the card that they're your mother and, they have a right to be at every single event that you have in your life. If they're going to make it like a misery for you, a good way to kind of look at it is like, how would you treat a friend that was constantly making these jokes against your partner? You would probably put them to the side or distance yourself from them. So you should probably do the same thing for your mother as well. It's just the fact that when it's something to do with like a parent, it's a lot more like, you're a lot more emotionally attached to it, and it's harder to kind of just distance because you almost feel guilty in a way. But at the end of the day, you're not the person in the wrong here, so you should feel no guilt for not inviting your mother to your wedding day. They did that, not you. Yes, you made the decision, but why did you make the decision? Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my brother's fiance wear her late mother's wedding dress at my wedding? Oh my God. So, I, 28 female, am getting married in 2 months, and I've planned every detail down to the last flower petal. I don't know why I went Scottish there, that was weird. It's my dream wedding, and I've been saving and planning for years. Here's where things get tricky. My younger brother, 26 male, is engaged to his fiancée, Emma, 24 female. I love that your brother doesn't even get named here, but his fiancée does. This is how much you dislike her. You want everyone to know who she is. And she recently lost her mum in a tragic accident. Now I feel terrible. Emma and I have always gotten along fine, but we're not super close. Anyway, her mom had a very beautiful, expensive wedding dress that Emma inherited, and it means a lot to her. A few days ago, Emma came to me in tears, asking if she could wear her late mom's wedding dress to my wedding as a guest. I was shocked because this felt off. Like, I totally understand that she wants to honour her mom, but I just feel like a wedding dress at someone else's wedding is not the time or place, especially since she knows I have a very specific theme, colour palette, and vibe for my day. I told her gently that I didn't think it was appropriate, and she started crying, saying it was the only way she felt her mom could be with her during a major family event. She said she'd never get to see her mom at her own wedding, and wearing the dress felt like a way to keep that connection. I felt for her, but I held firm that my wedding wasn't the right time for that. Well, now my brother is furious with me, saying that I'm heartless and selfish, and a bunch of family members have started to take sides. Some say Emma's request is deeply sentimental and that I'm being too rigid about wedding rules, while others agree that it's weird for a guest to wear a wedding dress at someone else's wedding. Emma hasn't spoken to me since, and my brother says they're considering not coming to the wedding at all unless I change my mind. My fiancé is supportive of me, but I'm starting to feel guilty because I know this is tied to grief and I don't want to be the bad guy. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let her wear her late mother's wedding dress to my wedding? Oh! I'm starting to get a headache just reading that. Now, this one is really layered, and I don't think it's as easy as being, as saying, Emma is the a-hole here, because you could argue that this is an a-hole thing to say, or an a-hole suggestion, but it's the reasoning for the suggestion that I think is definitely, it's a tough one to navigate, love. Now, losing a mother at any age is very difficult, but losing a mother at 24, that is honestly horrific, and grief at that age as well, at any age is so hard to kind of come through and so hard to kind of navigate, and a lot of people aren't themselves during grief, and grief doesn't have any time frame as well. It can be weeks, it can be months, it can even be years sometimes. So first off, I just want to say that Emma probably isn't thinking about this from like a logical standpoint, and she's probably not thinking about this from your point of view. Like, all through this that you've written, she hasn't once said, I can see why this would be a bit weird for you, but it would mean a lot to me. She's very much talking about from her point of view, because obviously she's just so encapsulated with a grief that she's going through, and that's fair enough from her point of view. I don't think she's doing this to be malicious. I don't think she's doing this to one-up you. I genuinely think she's doing this to help herself. But on the other hand, this is the most special day of your life, and you're paying a hell of a lot of money, and clearly you've thought about this day for years. You said that you've got it all planned down to even like the colour palette. Like, you definitely have built this up to be the best day of your life, which it should be. And honestly, I feel like it's totally fair from your point of view to say to Emma, despite her grief, look, I can totally understand why this would make you feel better, and it would make you feel from your point of view that your mother is with you on this day. But at the end of the day, this is my day and your brother's day, and it would mean the world to me on my wedding day if I was the only one in a wedding dress. I know it sounds stupid when you say it logically, but you've got to remember the emotions that are at play here, because as well, like, logically, I don't think it does kind of honour her mother wearing a wedding dress at your wedding. If it was her wedding and she was wearing her mother's wedding dress, I think that's such an amazing, beautiful thing, and definitely honours her mother, and that would be really emotional and really nice, and they can make a point that this is her mother's wedding dress and even do like some sort of kind of, I don't know, just like a dedication to her during the ceremony. But at the end of the day, this is your day, and if you don't feel comfortable with that, that is fine also. If I was you as well, I would also feel disappointed that people are taking sides in your family. I don't even think this is a taking sides thing. I think that if you both can just explain your point of views to your family members, and then your decision is final, which it is, they need to respect that. And if they don't, then are they really like, or do you even really want them at your wedding at all, really, if they're completely on the other side of not coming to your wedding just because of this decision? No, I think definitely you need to put yourself first. If there's any day that you are the special person, the person that everybody else should kind of be worshipping, it's your wedding day. Okay, that's your day. Am I the a-hole for gate crashing my ex's wedding and causing the marriage to get annulled? Oh my god. You know, every single time that we open a new one, I'm like, well, it's not going to be as traumatic as the last one. Oh no, I was wrong. Oh, I was so wrong. My ex's wedding was in February, and like you could guess, I wasn't personally invited. Nor was I told anything about it from him, even though we spoke daily. Well, I found out about it from his grandmother. We're close. Bet your love. And she suggested I gate crash and that she would cover for me. I think she doesn't like the bride. I was interested in going because I wanted to find some closure since we had broken up rather quickly a few months before, and I still wasn't over him, so I said yes. Okay, I'm going to read on, but that paragraph alone was mental. The day came and his grandmother snuck me in and we watched the ceremony. It was beautiful. I shed a few tears, but it really solidified things. I was ready to leave afterwards, but his grandmother pushed me to go to the reception as well and sit next to her at the family table. Granny! Bloody hell! Pretty awkward, but I went. I was still mingling with the family, standing up, when the bride and groom came. They came and greeted and congratulated me on the pregnancy. I thanked her and said something about how I couldn't wait to co-parent with two of them. Turns out she didn't know that I was pregnant, 5 months at the time, with his child the whole time. Just a little bit of new information for her on our wedding day as well. Right, bet she appreciated that. She lost her and ran out. He tried to run after her, but then her dad came and started a scene. Lucky for me, my ex's brother came and helped me out of there as soon as possible. My ex still asks for updates, but I recently heard from his grandmother they broke up and got an annulment. The bride weirdly still follows me and comments, likes my pictures, so I think she's fine with me. But still, am I the a-hole? Edit, we dated for 3 years before he got into his relationship with her, and then rekindled things during their break, which they both had partners. I don't know, I'm just going to keep going back until this story disappears. Oh no, it's not. They need to make a movie out of this. There's so many layers to this. Bro, I feel like I've just unpacked an onion. And never, like an everlasting onion. Get on that, Willy Wonka. Okay, the first thing that I was surprised at is like, why is Granny like a generational hater? His grandmother is his biggest hater. Granny, you can't be doing stuff like this, especially at your age, love. Bloody doing heists and sneaking people into your grandson's wedding. Pack it in. Honestly, like, you know when it's time for you to be in a home, you're not getting any visits from him. I'll tell you that for nothing. I love that his grandmother's like, should we sneak it in so you can ruin the day for him? Oh, I can't stand her. Honestly, love, I can't stand her. Also, the fact that you went, like, that is pretty crazy as well. Like, you weren't invited and you just showed up. Not only did you show up, you didn't even do the thing where like you go to the night time, you know, like the disco or something. You sat on the family table. Like, I really wish I could have seen the bride and groom's faces when they looked over and went, is that surely not? Also, how did you like get a meal and stuff? Don't you have to kind of like pre-order what you want, or like don't they have to have like a specific guest like that? I don't understand. Did someone pull out? I don't know. Someone didn't pull out. Right, as we know, pregnant 5 months, which again was an absolute curveball. I totally didn't expect that. The way that you just kind of like led us on. Honestly, you should write movie scripts. Like, you're incredible. I do think it's kind of mental that you guys were only split up for a matter of months, and he managed to find someone, propose to them, and get married to them in this like short few months period, even though you had been dating for like years. That would probably rub me the wrong way, because I'd be like, are we sure about this? Especially if you're going to be like raising my child as well. I kind of want to make sure that you know that the partner you're picking is the right one, even though I kind of have nothing to really say about it. I kind of get the vibe that, you know, this guy should stay your ex as well. The fact that he hasn't told his, you know, bride-to-be that he has a child on the way in like, what, 3 or 4 months? That is kind of a big deal, like a big deal to leave out. You know, I'd want to know, personally. If I was getting married to someone, I'd be like, just to check, have we got a baby on the way? Or have, you got... Okay, just making sure. Okay, traumatized by a Reddit thread, you see. I think it's totally fair for her to kind of run out. I would as well. Like, I don't think she's the a-hole in this situation. Do I think you're the a-hole? It's a difficult one, because your presence has, I guess, broken them up. So, you like, they have broken up because of your presence and because what you've said. However, that information should have already have been discussed prior to the wedding. So you're just basically the messenger at this point. The reason that she ran out was because of the pregnancy thing, not because you were there, I believe. If it was just because you were there, then I feel like you were the a-hole. Honestly, I feel like the only two a-holes here is Granny and the groom. Do you know what, actually? I've read through the comments and I definitely agree with the top comment. Like, I think I was being too nice to you because of the way that you wrote your story. I do think you're an a-hole as well. I think everyone in this story is an a-hole, really. Apart from the bride. If she really didn't know about all of this going on, I actually feel really bad for her. And that's what the top comment said. Everyone is the a-hole except the bride. You crashing the wedding. His grandmother for convincing you to crash the wedding. Yeah, Granny, honestly, that's knocked a few years off the end of your life, love, right? And him for keeping a child a secret from his bride. I'm glad she got out of that marriage because you all sound dramatic and hard to be around. Yeah, this is one of those kind of dynamics that if you start dating someone and you realize that this is the dynamic, you're like, I'm just gonna scooch out a bit more. I do like you, but this just not for me, if I'm honest. Am I the a-hole for announcing our pregnancy at my brother's wedding after he proposed at mine? Some families are absolutely mental. My brother said he was going to propose at my wedding. I told him no. That it was a day about myself and my wife and we did not want any distractions. My mom lost her. She said that he wanted family he might not see again for a while to be part of the proposal. I said I did not give a and that if he did it, I would have kicked him out. He did it. And my mom said if I tried kicking him out, she would leave too. Mom, off. Sorry. I remember just seething inside. My brother got married last weekend. Instead of a welcome to the family toast, I used the time to announce that we were expecting our first baby. Oh! Okay. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind, love. My mom was upset, but my grandmother told her to sit down and shut up. We spent most of the reception talking to the family we would not see again for a while about our coming baby. This is like petty revenge. My mom says I was an asshole for taking attention away from my brother on his wedding day. She got really mad when I reminded her that she threatened to leave my wedding if I kicked him out after he proposed. I have the screen cap of the text messages, and that's how they ended it. They didn't even ask, like, are they the a-hole? They're like, I'm going to tell you a story about everyone else being the a-hole. I know I'm not, by the way. Firstly, I'm kind of starting late in the story here, but I just want to, after the whole grandma debacle in the last one, I just want to shine the light on a great grandmother here. The grandmother that told the mother to sit down and shut up. Granny, you deserve a bloody toast, love. Put £100,000 on the end of her pension. I think it's kind of mad that your brother didn't ask you. He basically said, I'm going to propose at your wedding and there's nothing you can do about it. Already, that's like disrespectful. Like, surely you should ask for permission. Even asking for permission is kind of wild in my opinion. Like, just don't do it on, someone else's wedding day. But ask for permission if you really want to. And if you're told no, then you don't do it. The fact that he still went ahead and did it, that is just really disrespectful. And it seems like your mother is one of those mothers that, you hear about them where they have like daughters and sons, but they kind of like disrespect their daughter and kind of like put their sons above their daughter for some weird reason, even though you're all her children. Because she's been so hypocritical here, the way that she's kind of reacted to you announcing your pregnancy at the brother's wedding to how your brother did the proposal. Like, I don't understand this from the mother's point of view. I don't know why they need to witness it though. Like, you can't just, like, loads of people have their proposals where it's just them two, and it's like special between them two, and then they take a photo and they can send the photo to whoever they want, and then they can get congratulated that way. You don't need your family at a proposal. If you want them there, that's totally fine, but this is not the place because it's someone else's wedding, especially your sibling's wedding. And also, like, you announcing your pregnancy at your brother's wedding, that's also you being an a-hole. But it's kind of warranted. You were backed into this corner. You have to come out swinging. You have to. You can't let these people walk all over you. By the way, I think everyone is an a-hole, or everyone has acted as an a-hole here, but I feel like yours is the only explainable one. Okay, this one is a bit of a deeper one, I think, from the title. Am I the a-hole for postponing our wedding because my fiance wants to have pictures of her late husband in it? My fiance and I have been together for about 3 years. We got engaged 6 months ago. We were doing some planning and she mentioned, where do you think late husband's name pic could go? I was confused and asked her to clarify. She said she wants her late husband's picture at the wedding. She went into more detail at my request. She wants one of the bridesmaids to hold his picture during the ceremony, as well as having his pic on our table, and when taking pics, she wants to hold him in most pictures. I told her that I didn't want that, and while I understand he's important to her, I'd feel uncomfortable with his pictures in our wedding, especially when they're so prominent. We got into a fight and she yelled, "I can't believe you are jealous. He's f***ing dead." What? Do you think I'm gonna f*** him at our wedding? I mean, that would be traumatic if she did do that, you know. Not really a fan of necrophilia, if I'm honest, especially at weddings, right? If you're gonna do it anywhere, don't do it there. I decided to postpone the wedding, and honestly, I'm thinking of calling it off altogether. Deep one, but interesting. Obviously, we don't know when she lost her late husband, but we know that you've been together for 3 years, so it's over 3 years. If my partner had a previous husband and we were getting married and she wanted, like, you know, I know some weddings have like a board of people, like family members that can't be there. If she wanted like his face there, or she wanted it kind of, I guess, just somewhere, you know, just so that if she wanted that, I don't think I would be too opposed to it if it was somewhere. But I feel like because this is so prominent, I think I would be feeling the same as you. You know, the fact it's everywhere, like even when you're taking the photos, she's holding a picture of him. I think it's a little bit much, personally. I mean, from her perspective, she's probably not doing this to hurt you. She's probably only seeing this from your point of view. She's definitely only seeing this from her point of view, sorry. From her point of view, she's probably thinking, I still have love for him. Obviously, I lost him in a horrific way. And, you know, my partner shouldn't be annoyed at this because I'm obviously not going to sleep with him because he's dead. Which she's literally said, that's what she said at the end, okay, in a bit of a more provocative way. But at the end of the day, even though she can't sleep with him or be with him anymore, you still want to feel on your wedding day that it's just about you two. And in my opinion, this isn't about the both of you. This is about her and him and you. And, you know, it's your wedding day as well. Like, obviously, it's your wife's most special day. But this might be your first wedding day as well. Like, this is very special for you. You should be able to make a stand with this and be like, look, I understand that this is really traumatic for you, what you've been through. And, you know, having another wedding is probably going to bring up all the emotions from your previous wedding. I understand how emotional this is for you. But can you see from my point of view why I would feel uncomfortable with this? And if she can't see it from your point of view, is that really somebody that you want to be married to? Because at the end of the day, like, a marriage is about, you know, I guess, compromise. She doesn't seem to be doing any compromising on her part. It seems to be all on your part, and there's only so far you can go before you're going to resent her if you don't say something. So the fact that you've kind of put a postpone on it, I actually think is a really good move. It just gives you guys time to talk about it, especially the fact that you haven't split up or anything. You're just like, should we just park the brakes on this? Give us time. You know, hopefully we can just sit on it a bit more, and when we're both ready to move forward and we both feel comfortable, then we can get married. Let's read what the comments have said. Okay, I'm a widow of 12 years and this just isn't right. I understand she may want a memory of him with her, but pictures of him in pictures of you two is just wrong on many levels. There are many inconspicuous ways of having him with her. You are 100% right for postponing your wedding and possibly cancelling it too. My thoughts are she isn't ready to move on yet. Why? I don't know. She needs some counselling to find out, or some deep soul searching. Honestly, that is actually like, that comment is smashed out the park. I definitely feel like she needs some therapy, you know, to some professional help to talk about this, because like I said a couple of stories ago, grief can be years, and this is, you know, 3+ years of her still not coming to terms with what's happened, and she needs to be able to move, even for herself, you know, like looking at this from her point of view, she's never going to be happy unless she can kind of come to terms with what's happened. And it almost seems like she's using you as a way to kind of take her mind off it, and, you know, that might be good for her, but at the end of the day, you're a human. You deserve to be someone's special person. It doesn't seem like you are here. So I really hope that you do find that, whether it's with her or whether it's with someone else. But don't ever compromise for being second best, okay? You're only here once, right? So everyone deserves to be somebody's like number one person. Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay for my sister's wedding after she invited my ex instead of me? Hi Reddit, I'm in a bit of a pickle and need some perspective. So here's the tea. That's a very British way to phrase that. My sister Emily is getting married soon. We've been close our whole lives until my recent breakup with my ex Chris. Chris and I were together for 5 years and it wasn't serious. We split up 3 months ago because Chris decided to pursue a career opportunity overseas and I wasn't willing to move. Now, Emily and Chris have always gotten along, but I never imagined she'd take his side over mine. Yesterday, I got the shock of my life. Emily calls me up and casually mentions that she has invited Chris to her wedding as a groomsman. Worse still, she tells me that because of the limited guest list, I am not invited anymore. Her reasoning? She thinks my presence alongside Chris would create drama and ruin her day. Oh, would it now? Here's where I might be the a-hole. I was supposed to pay for half of Emily's wedding. It was my gift to her as we come from a modest background and she always dreamt of a big wedding. Feeling betrayed and hurt, I told her that if she thinks uninviting me to accommodate my ex is okay, then she should be fine without my financial support. Give us the money back, love. Emily blew up at me, calling me petty and selfish. She said that I was ruining her special day and manipulating her emotionally. Now, family members are divided, with some saying I'm justified and others saying I'm being too harsh and letting my breakup affect my sister's happiness. So, Reddit, am I the a-hole? Well, you've come to the right place, love. Just taking the emotional side out of it, or even including the emotional side. Paying for a wedding, or paying for half of a wedding that you're not invited to. I'm not going to do that. What? Like, I think even if you weren't close with them, never mind that you're siblings, by the way, but if you weren't close to them, if you agreed to pay for half of the wedding, I still feel like you should get like an honorary invite. You know, just as like an honorary member. Like, I feel like it's a big thing to pay for half of a wedding. That is thousands of pounds, I imagine we're talking about here. And the fact that not only have they not invited you, but they have invited your ex, I feel like that is extremely disrespectful to you. Especially the ex is a groomsman. The ex is like one of the main players here. He's like, I don't know, Ant-Man and the Avengers. The funniest part about this is the reason why you're not invited is the limited guest list. Bearing in mind, like, you are the one paying for this guest list. It's going to be even more limited now. There's going to be no one there. Yeah, I feel like you're totally within your rights to pull out here. Like, you could have even have been the bigger person. It's not even been the bigger person, really. I retract that. You could have been on your high horse and be like, you know what, I'm going to pay for it anyway. I'm not going to play these petty games. I know that you have always dreamt of this wedding. I'm not happy about you uninviting me, but I'm still going to pay for it. But you don't have to do that, and I wouldn't do that, right? Personally, especially, it's easy to say that when you're outside of the perspective, but I imagine, you know, that's a lot of money to you. You want to be a part of the day. So I feel like I would retract the money as well. And if your sister can't see this from your point of view, that this obviously is going to happen if you don't get invited to it, then I don't feel like, you know, you even want to go to that wedding day at all. I can't believe that some of the people that we're reacting to are real people. Like, surely, if there was one name that isn't getting uninvited from this limited guest list, it's going to be the brother that is paying for half of it. Surely. At least that's just how I would think. I don't even know how the sister could go to the brother and be like, oh, sorry that you're paying for half of this, but we're gonna have to just like uninvite you. I'd be like, oh, you love? Really? Well, that's you eating rice and beans at the ceremony. No meals for camp, love. I'm taking all the stars with us, thank you. Guys, this has been one of my favourite videos to record. I have briefly mentioned that I'm not very well at the minute. You can probably tell I'm sitting down in this video. I don't really feel comfortable talking about it just yet. Maybe it's in the future. But yeah, I just want to say thank you for the messages and stuff. Like, honestly, it makes me day. This has been such a help off me mind, you know, like just, you know, been through some lately, and this, just recording this, has made us happy. For this period, I've been happy. So thank you so much. And if you want to watch another r/am I the a-hole video, click this video here. Oh, I've got an even bigger treat for you. We've got 3 hours of r/am I the a-hole, am I overreacting, like full bumper video. If you want something on when you're in the background and you don't need to change the video, click this one here. I'll see you over there. Bye bye, donuts, and I hope you're having a great December.
Kirkham, baby.